I got these these aren't even new headphones, but I bought them not long after our last session. And, which means they've been sitting in a box for 6 months.
Is that the last time we got on?
More or less. I want to say, yeah, it's pretty much the last time. So, welcome back. What's up?
We did it.
We're here.
We're doing it.
Our one fan missed us.
Hey, man, that's all short. We're putting a 1.5.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. We haven't lost all faith.
Yeah.
So cool. What's going on with you, man? Let's update.
Well, you missed the wedding. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a really good time up there. It's good to see everybody and like high spirits and everything. And just went out. Good to check out San Francisco, which was, a first for me to really spend any time in that city, which I'm kind of like, I have a mixed feelings on that city. It's kind of cool. It's definitely got like some vibes, It's definitely like we were in an area that you could tell wasn't like the best, but it also like wasn't the worst. It was like every time we would go out, because like Joey stayed in your room where you were supposed to stay. It just felt like there should be more people, Like there was like people, but it's like it's big. It's a big ass city, Like it's got like a much more like prominent downtown feeling than like LA's downtown. It's got this like deco vibe. It's got these like old sort of like really cool architecture, like big buildings, and then obviously those like Victorian full house style like inspired houses everywhere, which are awesome and really impressive, but probably like $10 million a piece. And the area we were in was like, it was cool. It was just like a little bit more divey. We had a bunch of bars and restaurants in the area, so we were just like walking around, checking that stuff out between the wedding. And the wedding was gorgeous. It was, out in that park that overlooks the Golden Gate Bridge. It was good. Small wedding, not even, I don't even think 50 people,
Okay.
So.
Dude, yeah, I saw the pictures and some videos and heard some stories because Dustin and Jerry came down and visited like last weekend or whatever. And
oh, really?
Yeah, I think it started was just like Dusty was like, oh, I haven't been down in a while, and you're always coming up, and I got to come down, and then somehow like got really into it.
Yeah.
which I was like, yeah, whatever, man. And I thought about like hitting you up. I was like, I already see that fool, like whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you should have, but I don't know if I could have made it or not.
Yeah.
When was it? Like a few weeks ago?
Last Friday.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was kind of like, just kind of morphed into this thing that was, okay, cool, we're going to come down and hang out, and do all this stuff. And then it was come down, I took him to get like some smash burgers. And then I think I had the idea, I think he wanted to see a movie, or Dustin wanted to see a movie. So we ended up going to a movie and saw this Disclosure Day, which I thought was okay. But I don't know if this is okay to say, but I think Steven Spielberg's like lost his fastball. Does that make sense?
I mean, Hollywood all like has lost its magic, Like I think even the guy, I mean, there's some that still like come through, but for the most part, it's just like everything feels cheaper these days. Everything feels like more like samey, and I mean, there's reasons for that,
Yeah,
and it's not DEI like everyone thinks.
Are you sure? I don't know. You can't rule it out. I'll say that.
I mean, I won't say like that culture doesn't like permeate to a degree, but it's just like it's clearly more like money and just like the fact that Hollywood has been creatively bankrupt for a while now and risk averse, and literally like now we're getting to the point where it's just going to be like one or two studios running the whole fucking town. So it's like, how do you expect there to be variation coming out of that? Like Steven Spielberg, like I don't know, he's made some amazing movies, but after a while it's just like, I don't know, you're going to get out of touch, I think, and lazy.
Yeah, and I think, Steven Spielberg, I think, like said hey, I'm just trying to crank these out because he's like 80 something years old. He just likes to do like he's not like Christopher Nolan in the sense that he'll spend 10 years or James Cameron spend 10 years researching a thing and crafting this story. He's like, I just want to get on set. I just want to get on set.
Yeah. It's almost like he doesn't know who he is without like making a movie. So he's like, I just have to make a movie, you know? Like I don't really care what it is. It's more just like I need to get out there and do it. So, you know, you're gonna be able to lay down.
So we ended up going to watch that. It was like whatever, but you know, only Joe and I were drinking. Dustin's like, I'm not drinking. I was like, wait a second, are you not staying down here? He was like, nope. So they drove back like that night. And I was just like,
dude, I was giving him shit about that in fucking San Francisco, dude. I was like, bro, like, you know, I love you. It's great to hang out with you, but it's like, it's always on your terms, you know? Like, and if you do come out, you just like treat it like it's a, you know, another thing to check off your list of things to do, you know? So it's like, bro, come on. Just like hang out and just relax. And, you know. But I mean, his whole thing is, you know, he doesn't want to drive, whatever, but just stay over then, you know, like
that's what I thought. I had the room ready. I was like, I got the guest room and someone's get the couch, but like, yeah, we could drink, we'll get fucked up and just like talk shit all night. And then, you know, you guys head back in the morning or whatever. He's like, nah. So part of me is kind of like, that sucks. Like, because I haven't really had a chance to, you know, get like super fucked up. Not that I'm looking forward to the hangover in my 40s, but
right.
You know, just having that sort of like old school hangout vibe. But this other side of that is like, well, it's good that, you know, you're not trying to drink and just trying to be better too. So that's like,
yeah. Okay. I mean, it's tough when you got friends like that where it's just like, dude, you want to get together and just get a little silly, which leads to, you know, probably drinking more than you should. But at the same time, like, you know, we rarely get to see each other. So, like, why not just, you know, let the hair down a little bit? And you made the effort to come all the way down here. Why not make a meal of it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'll let say this. I did hear about some of the stuff, and I heard it was a great time. I heard you partied a little, maybe too hard.
I know it was fine. I just fucking I fell. Yes, I fell and hit my face. I think I just clipped my foot, and like I think I had my hands like awkwardly where I couldn't embrace myself. I was either like in my jacket or whatever, and I just literally like fell on my cheek.
Okay.
And they were like really worried, and it was like could have been very bad. It wasn't that bad, you know. I had a little scraping and like whatever, and it like vaguely a black eye for like half a day, you know, like. But it was, I mean, it wasn't anything crazy. We just like we walked from the hotel back to Dustin's because we were just like, let's go check out your place, you know, like we want to see it. And it was late, and we still had a lot of energy to burn, and so we went over there. And then I think I tripped right before we got in there or right after. And but yeah, it was just, you know, it was pretty bad.
Okay.
But like I said, it really wasn't a big deal. They were just like, oh, shit.
Well, I had in my mind that you just said we're like super fucked up and, you know, couldn't even stand up and just tripped.
No, I wasn't even like blackout. I was like pretty coherent. I literally just like I think I just clipped like the curb or something, and it was just like wow, just went down like face first. So definitely drunk, but not like to the point to where they were like I was like whoa, like nothing like that, you know, because I had to walk all the way back to our hotel again, and at that point I was just like we hung out and talked for a while, and then it was just like all right, I'm done, because then. And Dustin was like, all right, I'm going to walk back. And I think she walked all the way back there with him again and then walked back. And it was just like, all right, you know, just going hard. Yeah. But, yeah, it was fun. I mean, all in all, you know, good was because, you know, he's been being a good boy for a lot of this year. And so, you know, I was there. So he's just like, you know, doing typical things and getting a little screwy, and he was just drinking so much. I was like hanging out with him. He'd always be like, where are we going? And I'd be like, man, all right, let's go up here. And, you know, we went to some really good spots too. Well, some were not so good. Some were like, we found this like tapas place that had these like anchovy stuffed olives that were like amazing. And like all of these really good, like small bites things. That was probably like one of my, you know, favorite little gyms we discovered. We went and got some oysters at a place, like walked up there the day after the wedding. That was kind of like a far walk. Because San Francisco is weird. It's both like too hot and too cold at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it's like always like there's wind that like kicks up and then it disappears. And then if you're in the sun, all of a sudden you're hot. And then all of a sudden the like ocean breeze comes through and it just cuts through you. And you're just like, Jesus Christ, man.
The ocean, the bay, you're surrounded by just like cold water.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I've got this little like makeshift laundry thing. They do what everybody tries to do, which I never understand, is like the morning after the like reception and stuff. It's like, all right, let's all get together for a little picnic at like 10 a.m.
Like,
I'm like so hungover, you know. I'm just like sitting in bed, and then it's like, you come in, and I'm like, fuck no, I'm not. Like, why would I ever do that? You know, like it's like I love you guys, and I'm happy to see you, but I always think it's insane. Like they did that after his wedding. It was just like this morning little like brunch thing, and I'm like,
yeah. Do you not know what y'all did the night before? Like,
yeah. Like,
kind of spent whatever I had left at that moment for you. Like,
yeah, like that was it. I blew my load. We're done.
Yeah. Now, if you want to do a lunch, noon, a brunch,
yeah, 3 p.m., dude. It's the earliest I'm interacting. Yeah. I was so dead that like I literally was like I laid in bed until I just like couldn't handle it anymore because I was so hungry, and then I just like forced myself to get up and go get some Thai food. Or that was just the first thing I found that I was just like, all right, I'll eat this. I wanted something else, but yeah. And then I just went back to bed. I was just like, all right, I'm going back. Yeah. Like, but I mean, like the hotel. Yeah, it was, I just can't, the hangovers now, like if you really tie one on these days, it's just, dude, I'm done for a day and a half,
Oh yeah. A day and a half is still pretty good. I mean, shit,
yeah.
I think I get 3 days last time I had hangovers.
Yeah, before you start feeling normal again, for sure. Yeah, like there's definitely that second day where you're just like, all right, I'm technically not like hungover, but I definitely feel like half the person I usually am. Like it's so bad. Can't do it.
Man, I was just so disappointed because like we were so excited to go up there. We're gonna get the crew together. Especially Kevin and just fucking rage for John's birthday. But motherfucker, man, like it was. I left. Or a couple weeks before, I was in San Diego. We ran a half marathon, and I remember I was like, it was after the marathon. We were sitting there at the bar, and I was like telling her how I had just talked to my aunt, and she was basically saying, Grandma was doing so hot because her birthday had just passed, and I'm trying to call her to wish her birthday, and she was like, yeah, she's been tired and stuff. We think she spent too much energy on her birthday, and we're gonna have the doctor come over, or a nurse or whatever come over and just check up on her. I think the way she was sounding, that was pretty normal, but also the way she was sounding, I was like, oh wait, no, so are we talking like hospice? Like what's going on? So I was telling her, it's like, God, my aunt was just saying how my grandma wasn't doing so hot, and then things were kind of going downhill. And this has been going on for at least a good 6 months, if not more. Dementia was starting to set in. She's 94, that sort of thing. And I was saying how I don't think she's gonna make it out of the summer. And that night, or at least that morning, because my sister called me at 5 a.m. I was already up because I had to get to the start line, and I didn't answer, but I knew. I was like, oh shit, like I don't get these calls unless they're that call.
There's something about it. Yeah. It's like the time of day, like when you're getting it, like the person, you just know, you're like, oh shit.
I drop her off. I drop her off at the start line. I call my sister. I'm like, so what is it? And she's like, yeah, well, I forget how she said it. She said it some like Jesus-y way. You ever notice how like religious people have new ways to say people die? Like, no, she's going to be in the Lord's lap now. And it's just like, oh, she's dead? Like, she died that night? Okay.
She's went upstairs to see her best friend.
Yeah. What? I was like, all right. So I kind of kept it to myself after the race, and I was telling, I told Kelly, I was like, yeah, I gotta figure it out. So I'm thinking in my mind, now maybe I'm a crazy person. because when we buried we waited basically a month to bury both my parents.
Right. I remember that.
Which I do, I know that's kind of long, but for some reason I'm still thinking like, you don't do these things because you want to. It's because there's a course of it. Like, for my parents, there's people in Kansas City that wanted to pay their respects, and then we got to take them down to Alabama and do another thing for them in Alabama, and then ultimately bury them, right? Like that was kind of the thing with that. With my grandma, she's kind of like a pillar, not her family, but just like the community. She's like a big figure in that part of Alabama. And my thought was, well, they'd probably wait 3 weeks to put her down just so everyone can get their stuff together and make arrangements, because most of my family isn't, we'll say financially great. So, something like that happens, you got to get flights, so on and so forth, and hotels and all that, because we're all coming down. This is the last matriarch of the family. So they're like, no, we're going to do this in 2 weeks. So I'm like, shit, that 2 weeks is right on, but the day after the wedding. So
there's no way around it.
No, and there wasn't a real way I could like do the wedding and then fly in a red eye, I guess, and then drive in and basically straight into a funeral.
No, I mean, it just wouldn't be worth that like kind of effort. You'd just be like, all right, I'm at the wedding. I cannot have any fun here. I've just got this travel like looming over me, and which is going to be followed by, a funeral. Like, there's just no way like that is worth it.
So that was crazy. So I had to switch up everything. I gotta get new flights, cancel or not cancel. We were going to cancel the hotel, but we ended up giving it to had an arrangement with him.
Which was good. I mean, I'm glad that at least you were able to get recoup some money on that, and because I told I was like, because he was like trying to get me. I was like, I just bought this. I was trying to get a place where I'd be around. At least somebody. And then I told him, I was like, why don't you take those off him? And he's like, all right. So I guess he gave you the cost of his other place or whatever. And so, I mean, at least you got something back because otherwise you couldn't get a refund, right?
Right. So it was dope. And that was a whole other shitstorm, which was, I won't talk about here, but it was like she was on trying to get with like Built because they weren't like fixing shit, as far as her flight and hotel stuff. And she was getting pissed off and like, I don't know. That girl's a pit bull when it comes to that shit. So that was very interesting.
Hey man, it's kind of good to have somebody who's like that. It can be a little stressful though, for sure.
Oh, it definitely was like
they bring that stress level up with it. It's like, oh hell no, I'm going to war over this, and it's like, all right.
But yeah, with that said, everything went well. And now, is there something going on in the sports world with you? What's anything interesting happening?
This is my month, dude. I've been telling everyone this is basically a religious holiday for me. This comes around. It's weird because I haven't had a lot of like build up and excitement for it. Typically I'm like, oh yeah, it's coming out. It didn't feel real, and also I think it being in the U.S. just kind of with everything going on, it's just like, man, we're gonna fucking make a mess of this. This is gonna be a fucking disaster, Seeing all the ticket prices and stuff. Well, that was the first thing. I was just like, fuck, man, I would have loved to go to a World Cup game. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's too fucking expensive. And nah, dude, my credit cards are maxed the fuck out, dude. There's no more credit card expenses. It's more like now we got to tighten up and start paying down some credit cards. That's where we're at right now. But yeah, unless one of my friends comes up big and is just like, hey, I got an extra ticket and like, I want you there. It's like, fuck, which it might happen. I don't know. I got a few friends that kind of swing dick like that. But for the most part, it's fine. But now, like once the tournament kicked off, I was just like, oh shit, yeah, right, it's fucking World Cup time, So I've been stoked. And then once the U.S. won that first game, I was like, dude, oh shit, like this is serious. This is serious, y'all. Like this is actually like a decent,
convincingly.
Dude, like the best I've ever seen a U.S. team play. It's not just okay. We've broken like personal records already. We haven't basically won 2 back-to-back games let alone won games with like more than a 1 goal difference, like in the World Cup. Basically, is I think the stat I heard. We have an actually like world-class coach. There's been questions coming into it. It just like they were really shaky, kind of back and forth, looking promising, not. And granted, I don't follow them closely. I'll catch some highlights here and there and be like, all right. But one of my soccer buddies, he was like, dude, they're playing really good. He's like, even when they lost to Germany, they actually had some really good play. And I was just like, okay, I didn't really watch the game. And I was like, we'll see. So yeah, after that game, it was like, wait a second, we actually we have a squad. Now we haven't really been truly tested yet, but we have potential. At this point, horse. Because it's a do what?
It's a dark horse.
I mean, it's funny. Like the European pundits, you bring up the U.S. team, and they basically like scoff every time. They're just like, yeah, okay, that's funny. It's cute that you guys think you have a chance, and they're mostly right. Like for the most part. There's a few. It's complicated. The relationship is complicated. We have the most embarrassing like U.S. commentators. Like Alexi Lawless is an embarrassment. Like they've got Zlatan out there fucking on a panel with him, Thierry Henry, and Alexi Lawless. One of these people is not like the others. Those are two legends. Like, and then you got Alexi Lawless, who is literally just famous for like having a big red-haired afro in the 90s. And, he was a defender, like.
Dude, real quick, when I was watching somebody at the gym, and I saw that, like, okay, this one guy, and they post his resume, like, all-star, and stuff like that. And then Zaltar, same thing, like 10-time, all-pro, whatever you call it.
12-time Swedish player of the year, Champions League winner, like all this
other
shit.
fool. I'm like, okay, and I'm not even like a soccer guy, but even I realized, like, what did he do?
He just played for the U.S. '94 team. I don't even know, like, if he played in what league he played his career soccer in. Like, it's not even that. It'd be one thing if he was like just whatever, but he's like, he is this like he's a MAGA guy. First of all,
God.
Second of all, he just has these really fucking like stupid opinions that are just like very much so like I don't want to say holier than thou, but they'll always be about like it's like a tough love type of speech, as if he's talking to these guys like who are better athletes than he ever was, who have done more in their careers already than he ever did. And he just gets this really like entitled sort of like soapbox type of perspective all the time. And he'll just be like, these guys, blah, blah, blah. So he always has these like unhinged, like just pops off on these opinions, running his mouth. And he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like half the time he's embarrassing. He's like basically like makes us look bad a lot of times. Like, and it just like, he was saying something, what did he say? Like, he said a few things, first of all. Like, Zlatan has been, like, dogging him. He's been, like, making him look like such an ass. Like, he wasn't in the studio the other day, and the chick who's there with him, she's like, oh, Alexi's missing today, Zlatan. I guess you chased him off. And he goes, who? Straight up goes, who? And then he goes, you're welcome, America. And it's just like, dude, yes, no, like more of that. So they've had all of these awkward things. Thierry Henry just keeps having these like facial reactions to the whole thing. He just has like uncomfortable stuff. And like in Zlatan, like, him, he's like very like full of himself and his own way and his like all his like swagger, and he's not going to take shit from anybody. So like
he's good actually.
Yeah, and he's actually had an amazing career, like and. So there was like a flippant comment from Landon Donovan in the French game where he was like, "Oh, they're looking a little arrogant, blah blah blah." And then like once they came back from the half, like they poked at that and they were like, "Oh, well, yeah, maybe they are arrogant." And this is like Lawless being like, but like blah, blah, blah. And he just said something stupid, and then like Zlatan was like, they're confident. Confidence is different than arrogance, and only ignorant people will say that they're arrogant. Like it literally just like calls him ignorant to his face, and It's just like shit like this. And it's just been like all of these weird moments where like Alexi says something really weird and uncomfortable, and everyone's just like, what the fuck? Like, they just kind of ignore it and move on. They got the ball out, like Henri and Zlatan, and they were just fucking with it. And they're still like ballers. They can still like just do mad Tekker shit. And they like didn't even like Henri like fake passed it to him and then pulled it back just to get him to like move his feet. And then they just like laughed at him. They just dogged on him there. And it's just like, as they should. I mean, the guy's an embarrassment. The fact that they keep wheeling him out every fucking time we have one of these is just like ridiculous. The only guy who's like fun is Clint Dempsey, because Dempsey's like, he's kind of like this Texas guy. He's got like a bit of an accent. He's got like a little chip on his shoulder. He understands the U.S. perspective, but he's like understands the world perspective of the game too. But like Lawless still kind of comes at it like America's the best, America's number one type of thing. And I'm like, dude, in this realm, like we're a medium-sized fish at best, you know, like. And, you know, we've always done well from that perspective. But, like, this time, literally, we're like a top 5 team right now. Like, in the power rankings, we are like a top 5 team with the way these games have played out. Which, like, I don't even think that's, like, bullshit right now. You think
that's going to hold? Who are the other 4?
If they can do what? I would say it's France, Argentina, I think it's still hard to write off Spain. The Netherlands look pretty good. Hard to say. I mean, Germany is up there, but Germany's not playing great. Germany almost lost yesterday. Germany almost at least tied, you know, like, but they could have lost. Like, there was a chance where Ivory Coast almost took them down. It seemed like Spain, like, you know, so like, Spain's like out of the top 5, I would say. Germany, I don't know if you can consider them in the top 5, but they're still like they have these teams with like more depth. We have like these guys who are all like we have like 3 big names maybe ish, and then a lot of guys who are like playing in Europe, but like aren't household names, but like guys who played for clubs like our new striker. He played at Arsenal. He wasn't like the guy. It's a lot of guys who aren't like the guy, but they're like role players and they do well and they're playing well together and they're buying into a system which is working and they're playing like really dynamic, free flowing, like soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. And it's great. It's like really exciting, you know, and I'm not like a diehard US fan, but like I don't have a choice but to cheer for them when the World Cup happens. Even though
everyone does.
Yeah, they didn't even make it last time, so that was also like really just like frustrating, you know. So I don't know. It's good to see, and you know, last game our best player wasn't even in there. And dude, Aussies are crazy. My social media feed has been just Aussies going fucking ballistic. They have like a huge chip on their shoulder about the U.S.
After the game or even prior?
No, before it. Some pundit said like, "Oh, the Aussies will be a layup," and dude, like. All of Australian social media just started blowing up. They took it all super personal. But then, like, my algorithm has been, like, inverse feeding me, like, Aussies talking shit. Like, basically being like, oh, yeah, USA isn't very good. They're going to be at the bottom of the table. Like, our team's awesome. Like, we're low-key dark horses and shit. It's like, you're not bad, but you're just defensive. And, like, literally no one even knows anyone on your team. Like maybe you guys know, but, like, on a grand world scale, like, you have like this up and comer Eric Kunde or something he balled out in the first game, but like they were talking so much shit, and then they took the L so bad. Literally, I guess countless ones being like the ref robbed us, blah blah blah. And it's like you guys they were not good in that game. They had an okay second half, but they were like trying to be like, oh, the ref fucking like called everything for the U.S. The refs haven't been calling shit. They've been letting the game run in this. Like, and then it was just. It's been crazy. I thought Aussies were like known for being tough. They've been total pussies about this. They've been just crying. Dude, they're crying so much. So many of these social media Aussie influencers are just crying after that game. And then all of them talking shit on the U.S. before. And it's just like, bro. And they conflate all the political shit too, which I think I get. But it's also like, dude, you think we fucking love this? Like, most of us don't love this, all right? There's a small fringe portion of our, you know, population that's lost their fucking mind and then like, you know, taken over by a bunch of fucking psychos. But like throwing political shit at us over like soccer is just kind of like, dude, we don't like this. What are you fucking talking? You think the average soccer fan is like a diehard Trump supporter outside of like Alexi Lalas? Like, it's not like the insult you think it is. It's more just like makes you look, I don't know, makes them look kind of like ignorant on the whole thing too, you know?
Well, yeah, but there is a little bit of the politics involved because it is in America.
Yeah.
FIFA has been sucking up to Donald Trump. And, I guess it's a good segue to talk about the other team that some in the country are cheering for, which is Iran.
I think it's funny
cheering might be too lofty of a term, but there is a certain, like for me, I'll speak to myself on the topic, right? I obviously hope America does great in the World Cup. I think it'd be really fun and to see us, get a little respect on that stage at this point.
Right.
You're typically really shitty, right? But
right.
I also think considering the geopolitical atmosphere surrounding Iran and America, and I guess to a lesser extent in soccer at least, Israel, that Israel didn't even make the tournament. Iran gets in.
Never do.
They're playing in America, the country that's attacking you right now. On top of that, I guess the players aren't even allowed to stay in the country. Like they have to fly in and play. And leave.
Yeah, I think Mexico just basically was like, just come stay here. And it was just like, we were detaining like coaching staff members and shit. It's bad, man. It's like, it's really pathetic. And like, they didn't let in like I believe it was a Somali referee who was supposed to be like roughing it. And it's not lost on me. Like if we were to win the World Cup, like during like the worst administration, it would definitely just be like, that duality isn't lost on me. And the fact that everyone was just like,
well, even that though, it's like, what if Iran were to win it in America?
But there was something I saw because it was like they would get Donald Trump is supposed to go like lift the trophy with him because of fuck you, of course. That asshole would put himself right in the middle, and it was a social media post like Iran has the chance to do the funniest thing right now. It was just like
exactly like it'd be hilarious. Like there's no like political like probably whatever some World Cup is like the hilarity that
there's always politics in sports, international sports to a degree. It's unavoidable, like. I'm trying to keep myself pure, but obviously, like, and not like let that interfere because I already hate the political side. So I'm just trying to like, compartmentalize over here. But yeah, I mean, it is weird. I mean, Iran here, like the fact that they basically have to, they're like staying in Tijuana and then they'll like fly in for their games, and it's just like that's not ideal. Like that's super shitty. Like the fact that our government is so petty and pathetic and poorly run that like it can't even get this right. I think we're supposed to be hosting. It's supposed to be like a celebration of cultures and people. And like, we're supposed to be gracious hosts who are like, look how we live, like, and we were welcoming, and it's like, but no, it's like selective bullshit. And like, there were people from, I forget where it was, if it was like, obviously like an African country where like there's like family members and stuff who were trying to save and they had bought the tickets and they bought their things and they got rejected to come in. And it's just like, what the fuck? It's like family members of like the players on their team who like want to see them and they're just like not allowed in the country because of like, who knows, whatever petty reason they were given,
Yeah.
So that shit's gross. It sucks. I mean, and on the coverage, all you see is like the positives, but I'm sure there will be more like stories like that. I can't even believe people came, honestly. Like the fact that people showed up and were like, I can afford this $5,000 ticket. It's like
to go to this country that is losing its mind. Apparently, I know. So Kansas City is one of the sites, obviously, and I saw something that. I guess out of all the places, Kansas City was ranked the worst city host. Like in the
really?
City. Yeah, I was like, what? Are we that bad? And I know like FIFA had to cancel roughly 75% of their hotel reservations that they took. So
like FIFA being like actual FIFA did, or like
Well,
was
I
it
guess
one of
what
those things that
happens.
like projected ticket or like hotel bookings?
Well, as they're planning this thing, they're contacting these cities and talking to the mayors and governors and whatnot, and being like, "Hey, so we're having these games in this city, and we're expecting, X amount of people. So
Right.
they basically got on the phone and said, okay, we need to block off these many rooms, hotels, and stuff that we can help facilitate getting people there and house. And on top of that, like they were telling people in Kansas City, like, hey, if you can Airbnb your house, like do it because we don't have enough hotels. Like put it up and if you have an extra house or whatever. And my sister actually tried to get her duplex ready because she was hearing that people were paying up to 10 grand to stay in these Airbnbs for a month or even higher. So she was like trying to get on that shit, right? And I think she basically missed the boat on that. But anyway, that was the thought. We were going to be swamped with people. And then come to find out, no one was coming to Kansas City. So,
Well,
really
yeah, or they
sad.
just come for like, they're not going to stay for the month. They'll come for a weekend,
Yeah.
or to catch the game. I mean, because like when I've seen it, it's looked pretty packed, but also like, yeah, I've heard those like targets were missed like all across the board.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was because it's the city or the people would be like, oh, we don't have the money and or we don't want to go to America because they got the psycho in the White House.
I mean, I do think it would have been there would have been more. There would have been a much larger tourist footprint if we hadn't been behaving how we have for the last 2 years, and also if the ticket prices weren't insane. The fact that these tickets are like you can spend like $4,000 for like nosebleed tickets is just like what?
Wow.
Like how does that even make sense?
Wow. Yeah.
And they're doing some sketchy stuff too, where they're like even trying to take a percentage of like resale value on that market. It's just like I don't know, man. Everything is so like legally scams now. Everything is just like a legal scam. And it's just like it's so pathetic that we live in like in a country that like the only thing that's like regulated is like if you just are to steal from people with money and power, like, but they can like exploit you in every single way imaginable and basically just offer you no recourse, the fact that like they got rid of like any levers or controls there is just insane, But the only bright spot, what's crazy is you look at like what Zoran's doing in like New York and he's actually like being successful and getting shit done and it like almost like easily,
Yeah.
like just do layup after layup. And it's just like, oh, so like all it takes is somebody who's just like gives a shit and follows through and isn't like completely corrupt and full of like shit. It's like, it's so funny. And the fact that people still try to like demonize this man is just like crazy. It's just like, dude, all you gotta do is hear that guy talk, like have him answer any question and you just go like, oh yeah, that's like a pretty reasonable, like well-spoken, smart person who's like thoughtful. And even when you give him a really like difficult like question, even on Israel, he's able to just like like dodge all that and come out just like in like squeaky clean. The only people who can get mad at that are like extremist Zionists, like crazy people,
like Republicans are extremely lucky and the rest of us are extremely unlucky with the fact that he can't run for president at any point.
Yeah.
It's like, motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean,
and there's a comedian, he said
very
something
talented.
like, Zoran Mamdani is kind of proving that all this time there was seemingly a button in a room that was like, get shit done button. And everyone else just like ignored that button. Koji wasn't there. Said, well, we can't just hit that button. It's way more complicated than that. And
it's way more complicated than that.
Yeah, like you don't understand. Like you want like give away free stuff, or you don't understand economics, or whatever. But he just goes in and it's like, oh, like what's this button do? And like hits it, and all of a sudden, oh, government works. It's not something that's just nuts.
It's like crazy now how much they've like lost even effort and or like creativity in terms of like the type of shit they say anymore. All they're doing is just wheeling out the same old shit, again, that we've been hearing for like 30, 40 like our whole lives basically about the economy, and they're just like running the hits again, and it's just like, dude, you can't keep saying this. Like, the types of things where you just like, this would be communism, and it'll be like a picture of what's happening in capitalism, and it's like, what are you even saying? Like, you can't even look around and go like, this is a success story anymore. Like, it's clearly like hyper dysfunctional and only functioning for like a very small percentage of people. Like, and people are just like, we should all be so mad all the time. Like,
Yeah.
because you're being lied to on so many levels for so long, and now they're just like, they don't even try anymore. They've gotten so complacent and comfortable in their positions of like power that they're just like, we don't even have to make up new lies. We're just going to start recycling these ones and saying the same thing. You guys are so stupid. Like, we're not even going to try, like, it's just like, all right,
Like,
let's see where this ends up.
And they're so stale too. Like, and something and this happened recently, and just remind me just how fucking stupid and like unoriginal these people are. It's like the UFC fight, and that guy, wins his match and gets on it. It's like, Michelle Obama is a man. I'm like, bro,
UFC guy?
How long has it been since Michelle Obama was in the fucking White House? Like, you clowns are still talking about the Obamas. Man. Like, it didn't have the nerve to go around and talk about like Trump derangement syndrome. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, look at yourself in the mirror, dude. Like,
right. The only people operating like functionally with like Trump derangement syndrome is anyone who still thinks this guy is like a valid like president, or just like are still supporting him. Like, that's full on insane. But that's always been the case. It's always been like, well, do the thing that I am and say it's you type of like the way MAGA's operated. And it's like Trump derangement syndrome is the stupidest, laziest fucking thing. But the thing is like, it does exist, and it's you guys who fucking support this fucking like scam artist. Like, you're the true Trump derangement syndrome. Like, and then anyone else who's like in his orbit are just literally parasites. Like, who just are so gross, the slimiest people ever. That thing like Howard Lutnick calls himself like Trump's pussy or something.
What?
That's what he said. It's like a thing like Trump would say, he's like, yeah, like, you used to be a shark, you used to be this, now you're a pussy. And then like Howard Lutnick, he started like calling himself, yeah, I'm Trump's pussy. And it's just like,
are you? This gotta be a joke. I gotta see some real shit about.
Look it up, dude. I saw it, and I was just like, all right, whatever. This is fucking gross. But some of these sycophants, like, it's just like, I don't put it past them. They're all fucking psychos, dude. They're all sociopaths and psychos, like, they don't care. They do not care. They only care about one thing, and it's money. It's the only thing they serve is themselves and their own money. They really don't care if people die. They would laugh about it at fucking like things. They're literally super villains. They're not even not super villains, just villains, but like living like psychopathic, like detached from reality, like deranged lifestyles. Like, these people are disgusting, and they're hateful, and they're like monsters. Like, they're literally monsters at this point. The fact that they still just want to go full steam ahead on like these data centers and like these things that are clearly just like environmental catastrophes and just like ruin the quality of life of everybody in the area. And they're just like, go fuck yourself, like, there's literally no consequence for anything they do. Living a consequence-free life for like the better part of our lifetime, and now like, and before that, and it's just been going on for forever. It's not going to stop unless like literally violence happens in this country.
I mean, at this point,
but people want that. Yeah, like, some people want that. Like, I mean, our enemies want that. It's just like, it used to work to go like, look at China. And now it's like, go look at China. And it's like, they're doing things for their citizens. Look at yourself. What are you doing? Everything you do is say, we can't have that. We can't have that. We can't have that. But we can have more money. We can have more money. We can make fucking Elon Musk a trillionaire for nothing, for doing nothing. He's just fucking suckled off of government contract over government. Now he just set up a fucking, a stock market, like, shuffle, fucking, like, whatever. And he's just going to leech out all that, and that's going to drain everybody's Social Security. And it's insane. Everyone's 401k or whatever it is.
Dude, You know what's crazy? Okay, so we can't really say go look at China anymore because China obviously is, starting
They're kicking
to
our
kick our
ass.
Yeah, but here's a bigger nut kick, all right? Even when we lost the ability to be like, look at China, we still had like, oh, go look at North Korea. But I just saw this thing where North Korea apparently has had this explosion of like economic growth buoyed to China as well. So even they are starting to, if not gain on us, actually have gained on the American experience. It's like, bruh, like how much of
It's
this
embarrassing.
loss do we need to have before we realize the game has been being played on us? Like even North Korea has seen an explosion in economic growth.
It's literally insane, and like everything we're told is just to be like, be grateful. It's like, for what? You've made everything worse over like the course of like 30, 40 years, like ever since Reagan's fucking tax like incentives for fucking ultra wealthy kicked in, everything in this country has just gone like for the ultra wealthy. We get nothing. We're the only fucking like country without any like Mexico just got universal health care.
Yeah.
The president was this girl's like kicking ass. She's just doing everything, just being like, yeah, fuck it. Like we're going to do this, raise the federal minimum wage, like all things that we need in this country. Mexico's just like, whatever. So they're going to be the next one with a big economic boom. Mexico's awesome, by the way. Like what are they going to do? They're going to start look at Mexico. It's like, oh yeah, look at it. It's kicking our ass too. It's just every inkling and intuition this man has like is wrong. Like in terms of like helping people, and he lied and he scammed, and it's like. And the fact that people still think he's not is insane. You're just literally going like, oh, I can't see anything, Like he started this war in Iran. It's a total disaster, unwinnable.
Oh yeah,
180. It's close again because Israel's like will not just be anything other than like insane and deranged. Yeah, like do Israel things and be like, oh, we're victims, but we have to bomb everybody all the time. We're victims. And then, like, the Strait is closed again. We were supposed to pay him like $300 billion, but apparently that's through UN, whatever. Already paid $186 billion for this. We blow up whatever and then lose all this money, and it's just so pointless. It's just like it's somebody profits from all of that, the war machine. But yeah, that's all we know how to do anymore. Like, let's build let's make sure our bridges are good. No, go fuck yourself. I hope that. Let's hope bridges just collapse and people die. We're gonna laugh about that.
Well, the solution is just to put Jesus back in the schools because that's what happened. You guys lost Jesus, and then fell apart.
And that's such an obvious ploy too to just keep people like complacent. I've realized how much the teachings are designed so perfectly for ruling class people to just like. It's no wonder they like Christian signal all the time. Because if they can keep you sort of like a sheep and being gentle and like whatever and be a follower, don't question these things. And when somebody like signals that they're Jesus, don't question it. Like that's all these like right wing politicians do. They just Christian signal and then they get a get out of jail free card. And they go, look at these demonic Democrats and socialists and blah blah blah, and they're like, and it's like, all right, job well done. That's all we needed to do.
Yeah, you did it. You saved us.
Yeah.
You were fucking cooked.
No, we're cooked. Absolutely cooked.
So I wanted to ask, or part of the reason why I wanted you to get back on the camera is because something happened to me the other day that I like ranted to myself for a good, half a day because I was so mad about it, even though it shouldn't be. Okay. So I know you don't really go to a lot of fast food restaurants because of your gluten intolerance, so you don't have the opportunity to go, specifically McDonald's. But I do want to say that I think it's time that someone blows the lid on McDonald's war on customers.
Yeah. It's just gotten
there's a secret war on customers, and I want to expose it just a little bit right now. Maybe it'll be a for the further dialogue. Okay,
I'm fascinated.
To rewind a little bit, McDonald's. I don't know if you've heard this, but they've recently started removing the drink machines inside.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I heard about that.
So you're aware of that. Now, obviously, they're doing that because people were going into these McDonald's and being ridiculous about their free refills, like
Right.
buckets, oversized compartments, and just filling these fucking things with soda. So
We're doing the water trick. Order a water, get the soda.
oh yeah, famous
Right.
thing too, which is like just a side note. I probably did that once or twice in my life, but anytime after that, I always felt it was the most like skeevy thing ever. Not that it's a big
Yeah.
deal, but there's something about the person who thinks they're really getting over and someone when you're
If you're doing that after high school or college, then it's just like, all right, man, really?
just buy your drink, man. Like,
Yeah.
like so. Anyway, so that's an aside. So I get it. Okay, now we've used the drink thing. We're gonna take the drink machine away from you. Okay, fine. Now what's happening, and this is for I think all restaurants, but this issue happened to me at McDonald's yesterday. They're starting to become way more prudish about, and I don't know if that's the term, but yeah, stingy when it comes to condiments.
Right.
All right, for your chicken nuggets. Okay. Now again, restaurants, people are going into Popeyes or McDonald's or whatever, asking for a ranch, but asking for like 15 of them so they can have a bunch at home. Yeah. And at the end of the month, the manager's looking at their inventory and being like, "We've only sold X amount of chicken nuggets. Why am I going through 15 boxes of ranch?" So they obviously want to limit their condiments. But this McDonald's that I've been going to has been not only like limiting, they're flat out just not giving condiments anymore. Like
you gotta beg them to give you some condiments,
dude. No, they just don't even give. Like, okay, so this has happened to me probably 4 times. Right, I go in and there's a sign on my McDonald's that says 10-piece chicken nugget comes with 3 sauces. You get 3 sauces. Okay.
Okay.
If that means if I order a 20-piece, I get 6 sauces, correct?
I mean, what's the standard order? 8, 10?
Well, you get, you have the 4-piece, 6-piece, 10,
right,
or whatever. But they come with 5 or 6 sauces, right? Just the amount. Right. It should be that. I go in there and order my 20-piece, and I get home, check my bag after asking specifically, like, I want like 2 ranch, 2 sweet and sour, 2 barbecue. I get home, I got 3 packets of sauce for my 20 nuggets. Now I know, okay, the first time, it's not enough. The first time, okay, maybe it was a mistake. The next 3 times, no, there's something going on. So the last time I went in there, I ordered in the drive-thru, I parked, looked in my bag. What did I see? Missing sauce. So I
no sauce.
There's like just not enough sauce. So I park my car, get up, walk into the restaurant, tell them, hey, and the sauce girl, poor thing, looked back at me because I guess she knew what was going on. But I was like, I'm missing sauce for my chicken nuggets, and they gave it to me like no big deal. But these people, they're starting to charge for sauce. They're starting to if you ask for extra, which I'm okay with, but they're being stingy now. They're not even giving the fucking sauce, and I think the manager is telling them not to do that. So there's a war going on. They don't want you to be happy with your sauces. They're being stingy.
There's a thing I saw, and I thought this was pretty relevant. The day we stopped being customers and started being consumers is when everything changed. And I think there's a little bit of weight to that because, the whole notion of like customer is always right, like that used to be a thing. Like now it's literally like you are a consumer and therefore you're more of just a data point. You're a number. You're not a person anymore. You're a consumer meant to be like, min-max extorted to the nth degree. So I would not be surprised if McDonald's upper management started being like, look, just don't give them that many sauces. Like literally they want to, all they want to do is increase profit margin, like in any way possible. And that's like all these private equities come in, they buy these things, they gut all the quality ingredients, they make it cheaper. They literally tell them like, don't give as much sauce. They try to make everything last longer. So 100%, I am not I would not be surprised that that's the America we live in now, where it's just, it's not even about like, are you having a good time? It's like, you're a consumer. You're not even basically a human being. We don't really care if you have a loved one die. We don't care. Can we get more money out of you? Then yeah, like it's just insane. And I was thinking about like this, like when you have how insane it is to have a for-profit healthcare model. Like when you really think about that and the incentive to keep people sick in that model. And then you look back on like COVID in America, and it makes total sense that there's a complete lack of trust and or like consideration for a healthcare system that's for profit, that looks at you as a consumer point to be taken advantage of and extorted and extract as much value as possible. But that's everything. That's so wrong. And it's not what the American people are. You know, the American people, I still think in their heart are like really like optimistic and hopeful. And the people who want to believe like America is great, like they still deeply feel like that's a truth in their heart because that's who they want to be. You know, that's how they want to see themselves. But the fact of the matter is like we're held hostage by these massive corporations that don't care about us, you know, and literally like the healthcare industry and the entire like ability to get signed off on whether or not you get taken care of, whether you're sick or not, is governed by somebody who doesn't see you, who doesn't say you are literally a data point, and their priority and marching order is to make sure that they're getting the most profit for their shared values. That's deranged. That's a system that is designed, and we've all said that's okay. Why are we okay with this? Why is anybody okay with any of this? You know, like it's so insane. Like there used to just be things that were like would just be like, this is a great experience. We want people to come here and have this experience. And yes, like we as a business, we don't profit off of it, but we want people to like come here and feel valued. And we want to like make a place that families can make memories and shit. Like what is there business models that exist around that outside of like complete bullshit that they like write in their like pamphlets that they give their employees that are just completely disingenuous, like corporate jargon talk, you know, like the America we live in right now is just like, it's hollowed out and it's sad. I think about like moving all the time.
I don't know if I can do that, but no, it's crossed my mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how or what I would do, but I'm just like, and then I'm like, well, where would I go? And it's just like, but it really does. It doesn't feel like it's going to change, you know, like, and at this point, it's just like, what is the point? You know, like if you guys are just going to make this like hell on earth, but like you're determined to do that for everything, like all of these billionaires have all of the means to make everything better. And they all act like the only thing that could happen is everything can get worse. And it's like, no, it's because you guys are like in like some sort of weird death cult with your own like psychopathic, like insulated community. You heard about the Peter Thiel like little group they have? Yeah. And it's just like, it doesn't make any sense. They're just like, what's the most dystopian worst part of any science fiction movie? Like, what's that? Like, let's make that. Let's make that. That's where their imagination
like manual. But the thing with the Peter Thiel situation is that I'm not even concerned about the Peter Thiel secret society. Like we've gone way past the point of them needing to hide their depravity. Like they don't need to hide how insidious they are. We didn't need a secret group for it. We've already done something. They're like destroying the water and letting people starve. And there's a trillionaire. They don't need. If we're going to let that slide,
they're like, we're going to poison the water. Yeah. We're going to poison it. Because why? Because we can make more money. And it doesn't affect us. We can go live in like private fucking like gated areas and like we'll have good water. Fuck you. You don't need good water. What do you need that for? You're going to get cancer, and therefore we can take all the money that you've ever made in your life from you, like, and leave your family with nothing, you know, except for bitterness and hatred in your heart. And then they act like, and they do so much PR, and they're like, oh, we deserve so much, like blah blah blah. And it's like, you guys are literally like killing people. You're like actively, like your efforts are murder, like you're murdering people on a mass scale, like joyfully. And none of you are going like, let's maybe fix this. Let's fix this. No, let's double, triple down, because like at this point, we can't admit we're wrong, because that's like, it's like an admission of guilt. You know, they can't say anything out loud. It's like, yeah, actually, maybe this is like maybe we're not doing the best thing for humanity, you know, like,
Yeah.
because then what? Like, what would happen if like they weren't in charge? I mean, they should be tried for crimes, you know, like,
Oh yeah, we should be
like crimes against humanity. Yeah, it's like insane. Like crimes against humanity, like on just mass scales. And it's just like all of these manufactured, like they're all manufactured. All of these things are made by them. Like the housing crisis, there's all that, like BlackRock just buys up all these houses and this like creates these like the scarcity problem, and they just because they can, and just because they need more money. They need more money because God forbid they ever have like a red year, you know, like they got to get more money, so they don't care, you know, like fucking family house, like whatever, put more people on the street, and then they go, look at this disaster, all these people on the street, what's this? And it's like, you guys are doing this.
Liberal policies can't be evil if it makes your bottom line black. All right, if you're making money, it's got to be good.
It's good, yeah, because capitalism is just pure good, you know, and it's just like
the most moral.
It's just so funny to me that like we're still having these same arguments for like 40 fucking years, and it's just like, guys, let's look around. Like this is clearly fucked up. This is just a mess, you know. Like, can we just agree to that? Like, look at the way you live in your little bubbles with your psychopath friends, you know, like, and how everyone else like just is out here just wants to be happy.
Yeah.
Most people just want to be happy and live in a place that it's like has a potential to be better than it was yesterday. But no, you guys are just determined to fucking make it as fucking dystopian as possible.
Yeah, but that's why, bring it back to the McDonald's thing. It's the everything happening in the economy is the inshinification of everything. Get down to McDonald's. Like, yes, obviously you got to protect from people who are taking advantage of the system, but there's a big gap between someone who goes in there and fills their like bucket up with like high Hawaiian punch or high C, and a person who just wants to have a second refill. But that doesn't matter because someone up there in the executive level said we can make more money if we take out the ball pits, and so you can't have a good time over there with your kids and just make it squarely about money.
It's like they're already addicted to it, so like they're gonna come, you know. And look, if you let them, these savages will just come in with buckets, you know. They'll come in and like, oh, so we got to get rid of it, just because like a few bad apples. But that's like, it's like everything. It's always like the solution is just to be like, well, no, we can't do that. Like, it's like I can't wait for them to just start putting like they already do this with like soccer fields in LA, where they just like fence them up and cage them because like you can't be on the field. It's like you built a field for people to play on. And then you're just going to fence them up because why? Well, people have to be able to schedule it and then like only use it for these things. And it's like, yeah, but if nobody's using a fucking field, like, isn't it nice to be able to go out there and kick the ball on the field? But like the city's solution is just be like, no, we can't do that because like, you know, fuck all of you. You know, somebody will fuck it up, you know?
The pores are out there.
But that's always the solution is just to like, well, because there's bad people and nobody can have anything nice, you know, like, well, we can't do this. And the solution is always to make it worse. Yeah. Even though you tried to make a place that like you build a park and a thing for people and like, oh, it's a place of community. And it's just like, yeah, but no.
Which community?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If the undesirables show up, then, you know, it's not the community anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just, all right, it's just fun.
Yeah. We did an hour. I think that's good. Get back on course. Also, something else, just real quick. I was looking up the podcast, and there's like 2 or 3 other channels called Nobody Asked for This, and one of them has probably 200 subscribers. They started after us, but it looks like they stopped as well. But I was like, you motherfuckers, you can't take that shit.
Oh shit! Yeah,
this shit was
stole
whack.
it.
This shit was whack.
They stole it.
Get back on it.
Got to trademark it.
Podcast.
Yeah. However that song goes.
Our theme song, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Kelly did mention that. She loved that. She was like, I love your theme song. She liked your voice.
Yeah, it was a good little, like, I was impressed you were able to put that together off of that. Cool, man. Well, it's good to see you. Hopefully we'll get together soon and have some fun.
I think I'll come up for birthday, but yeah, all right. Nobody's asked for this, so talk to you later.
Later. Bye.